I had a difficult time finding shadowing opportunities because I didn't really know any physical therapists. My parents didn't really know any. So I spent one summer just driving around in Tucson, Arizona, where I'm from when I was back. And I had a copy of my resume and I was just walking, like pretty much going door to door. I would just walk into PT clinics and say, hey, I'm just a random guy here, but I really would like to shadow to get some hours. And I was lucky enough to get taken on by a couple just fantastic clinics and physical therapists that I admire to this day.
A question that I have is, in what ways would you feel like going through a community college may have posed some barriers to you for getting to PT school?
I think the biggest thing was I was worried that it would make me a less competitive applicant because I felt like my understanding was that most students who are applying are coming straight from undergrad. And so they have their 4-year undergrad and all of their prereqs are from a 4-year university, whereas mine would be from community colleges, at least a majority of them. And so I actually reached out to an advisor at Anschutz to talk about my prereqs and my previous history and just me as an applicant, and I found that to be very helpful. She helped me sort of fine-tune things that I was lacking that I probably wouldn't have known prior.
So I am a first generation student, and so I think the biggest barrier that I faced was understanding like how that process works, but also like being able to financially afford being able to submit my application. And so something that I found was that there are a lot of programs that you can apply for, even through like the people that host the application and the GRE and all of that stuff, where you can get discounts if you qualify for it.
What advice do you have for a student that is considering a career in physical therapy?
I would say to find you a mentor, really. Find you somebody that's going to help you get to the place that you want to get to. And when you do find those people, make sure to listen to them and take advantage of every single opportunity that you have.
For me, it was a little challenging as somebody that had a bachelor's degree already. I was trying to apply to schools in Colorado to get my prerequisites, but they want you to be degree seeking, and they won't just let you take certain courses. Like they wouldn't just let me take Gen Chem, right? I would have to be accepted into, let's just say, neuroscience, the School of Neuroscience there. So that was really challenging. Luckily, the University of Colorado Boulder has a pre-health post-baccalaureate program. So what that is they have a program that's made for basically career changers. And I was really happy to find that. I was like, no way, this is me.
Time round, I actually was rejected from the CUDPT program. And so that hit pretty hard for me to see, okay, well, and that was kind of like an eye-opening realization for me. Is like, okay, we can always do better. So I looked back at my application and we saw my clinical experiences and my shadowing, my observation could use some work. So I went back, I buffed that up a little bit for the upcoming year.
There was a time I remember I applied for a PTA job and I didn't get it. And I was like, ugh, like I saw all my, like some friends getting it. And I was like, if they can get it, why can't I? Like, maybe I'm not meant to do this. And, I kind of just had to like take a step back and be like, this is one thing. Like, there's so many other things to this application, so many other things to becoming a PT that are so important. I was actually thinking about it today and I was like, wow, I look back and I'm like, if I would have gotten that PTA job, there were like a few other experiences I wouldn't have had that were so crucial.
I was abruptly informed of what it takes to get into a physical therapy school. At that point in time, I was probably 21. I was nowhere near a candidate that would have been accepted, like nowhere near. My GPA was really low. Again, no experience. So once I learned what it took to get in, it was kind of like, okay, I have to start now and basically perform perfectly from here on out and gain some experience along the way and, start studying for the GRE, things of that nature?
I would say another huge part of my support system as far as navigating the physical therapy application process were other physical therapists. I made a real effort to build relationships during my physical therapy observation hours because, one, they were so valuable to me because I wasn't obviously working in a clinic where I could spend time with physical therapists all the time. And it was also limited because it was something I had to do outside of work. So the time I had with physical therapists was really valuable to me, and I really tried to nurture those relationships and I asked often, like, hey, I'm at this part of the application process. Do you think this would be beneficial if I went out and did another course on this? Or, maybe I could spend more time here, and really just asking for their advice and guidance and input, because it's definitely something that they've had to navigate before. Or they also have helped other students through that process as well. So I found that really helpful.